Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we'd like to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect Akim, pushing this word. All right, and shalom to the household of faith, the tabernacle of David, the elect, the hopeful elect, the multitude of men, women, and children, predestined for salvation. This is a Men of Valor Las Vegas camp. I'm the brother Karatazah.
Amaya Shaddad.
And we coming back with a lesson today. Probably something along the lines of showing his horns, or this devil gotta go, something like that. Will be the title. But really just the inspiration behind this this lesson going into something I witnessed the other day. Pretty much what you see on the screen right now is a enhanced photo the brother was playing around with, but the picture, behind the other pictures, was this Edomite, who pretty much he was driving a truck, and it was spiritual because that truck was red, and it had a trailer on it, and he damn near he was acting like he was gonna run Jake off the road. He was there was a so-called black man, brother Judah, and he was a little bit older, probably like in his late 40s. He was riding his bicycle on the side of the road, and this jackass, acted like he was about to hit him and run him off the road, like how they be doing in movies and shit, and Jake didn't fall or nothing, but to say the least, that was pissed me off. I took the picture originally because I was damn near gonna call the cops on his ass, but thinking about it, these men, they're not tried as other men as the scriptures say.
Sure.
So there ain't no point of that. Yahweh Shemel Shai says that vengeance is his. So we waiting on that deliverance, and we just got to endure the hell that Satan, or the physical counterpart of Satan, Esau Edom on this side, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, brings, and just have faith that the Lord is going to deliver us out of it. Don't let this sucker push you around, but there's only so much we could do, and the elect is going to be saved out of it.
Yep, because as we are in this this particular time, these devils are going to amp up.
Yeah.
All right, and they're going to do every and anything to try to get you to act out of character.
Right.
All right, to not show yourself as one of the hopeful elect. All right, so we got to be circumspect and always, thank you, Hashem Yahweh Shai, for giving us this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, as well as discernment and temperance.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, because, the other way around, if that was an Edomite, riding a bike and Jake trying to run him, he would be, his ass would be in jail.
Yeah.
Attempted murder.
Yeah. Manslaughter, or whatever.
Attempted manslaughter, whatever it may be. This dude was probably, drinking, whatnot. But you see the flags too. You see the flags that this devil shows his pride pretty much wherever he goes.
Good.
And then so that one flag got 1776, which show the birth of this place
in the Confederacy.
And you're right. And then it also, which it was hiding, I didn't catch it at the right time. There was that serpent.
Mm-hmm.
That don't
tread on me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we know what that's about. So, the Bible clearly states that this is the wicked, and then the other flag, the blue lives. So it was spiritual. You got all these, this red truck, driving with a big ass trailer full of who knows what.
Right.
trying to run Jake off the road. You know, you just witness, spiritual things. So, we get into the lesson, and it's the spirit, because what Apostle Tahar deemed this year as the, hopeful year of our salvation and judgment on Esau, Edom.
God.
This place is going down. There ain't no stopping it. So it's only a matter of a time, as it's always brought up by the apostles. This place is circling the drain.
God.
And that piece of shit is about to get flushed. So you got Amos?
Yeah, Amos. This is the book of Amos, chapter 1 and verse 11. And it reads, "Thus saith Yahweh, for their transgressions, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for the 4 I will not turn away the punishments thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast out all pity."
He casted off all pity, and who's his brother? Is Jacob. Who is the progenitor of the 12 tribes. And hey, as the scripture says, he has a perpetual hatred.
Come.
I gotta let you read it.
Come. It says, "And his anger did tarry perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever."
Yeah, it says his anger tarried perpetually, which means it was an everlasting hatred. And that's his weapon. All right, that's what identifies the wicked as Esau, Edom, is his sword. All right, that was his blessing. Psalms 17 and 13.
Right.
It goes right into that.
Because this devil never got over losing his birthright, which was never his.
Yeah.
All right? Because Yahweh Shem Yahushua had already ordained it.
Yeah, so there's an underlying hatred, and feud between these two nations. And you got...
Yep.
Actually, you go to Psalms first.
God. And
37.
And essentially, Jacob didn't even take it from him. Right? He sold it to him.
He gave it away because he saw it as nothing. He didn't see. He casted it off like it was worthless.
Right. It was no value to him.
He was just so hungry. And that's a characteristic of Hey, we'll bring that point back around at the end of the lesson.
God. Book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 32, and it reads, "The wicked watcheth the righteous, and seeketh to slay him."
Right, so not only is he just doing stuff on a whim, hateful acts, but he does it, as a crafty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he plans things out, and that Edomite, driving that truck, he low level. All right, he's not even on the wickedness of these other devils, that we can't even touch.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that do perform the enchantments and really plot out. He's just a part of it. All right, he's just a pawn.
Yep.
Just
like he's no different than
frontline.
Yeah. All these celebrities.
First one gonna get blasted.
Yep. Sacrificial lambs.
Yep.
Right. It's like the elite have the celebrities to be sacrificial lambs to the peasants. All right.
Right. And the Lord said, He's not gonna turn away the punishment.
Mm-hmm.
So Esau, that's comfort, to Jacob, because we feel, the 12 tribes, at times you see all this, this devil getting away with all this BS, and you think, man, he ain't never gonna get his. But the Lord said, he gonna get his. It's just in due time.
Mm-hmm.
Really, he gonna be exterminated. Gonna get the Obadiah treatment.
Right.
At the end of the day in the kingdom. All right. You got Genesis 25.
Yeah.
I'm right there if you. I'll read it.
Yeah. You got it.
This is Genesis 25 and where am I? It's like 25 and 23. It says, and Yahweh said unto her, who's he speaking to? He's speaking to Rebekah, the wife of Isaac. Okay, the mother of Esau and Jacob. It says, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. The one shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right, so the elder, was Esau, because Esau came out first. The younger being Jacob. All right, and he was holding the heel of Esau, as it says in the book of Second Esdras. All right, which we are next up. All right, but it was already, prophesied for Esau to serve Jacob. Okay, I'm gonna drop down, and the reason why the Lord was telling Rebekah this was because she was asking, why is there a battle in my womb, or a struggle?
Right.
Which that struggle is a spiritual conflict that carries on to today.
Right. And you that's true, because if you ever research anything about births and things like that, when there's twins, there's cannibalism in the womb. There's another one, another one can kill the other fetus. And that just goes to show that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is just in all his ways, and that very act took place, right? Even though it was of the same seed line, right? That was an indication that these were separate, and the scriptures not only tell you, right, like the apostle said, you have to be a visionary, right? Envision these things. Envision a woman, having constant uprising in her womb, in her stomach, right? And not being able to receive rest and really enjoy her labor, enjoy her pregnancy, as much as possible.
Yeah, and also in Second Esdras, the Lord likened or made the parable to the prophecies coming to pass as labor contraction. As a woman giving birth. All right, so that's another connection, to the feud between Esau, Edom, and Jacob. All right, because that carries on to today. With the battle that was inside of Rebekah's womb.
Oh.
So as the time gets closer to the end of this age, that battle, or that strife is going to kick back up, and it's going to actually we're going to see sedition amongst men. All right, these little racial tensions will be brought to new heights, as you see what they do in the news. They try to kickstart and rise Jake up, whether it be little ICE protests, whether it be letting some of these centurions off the
hook.
Off the hook.
Well, and it's the California. It was a California. I guess she's supposed to be like some senator or whatever, but nevertheless, she was calling out. This lady. I just seen a short on it. This lady was calling out for the neighborhoods to protect their own.
Right, but Trump trying to his main focus, he brought it out when he first stepped into office, was that these lower income places, they need that more protection.
Right.
So he's making the excuse, as it says in the book of Psalms, that they lie in the
wait.
They lie in wait, in the secret places.
Mm-hmm.
Referring to those ghettos. All right, they lurk. All right, they pretty much plotting on Jake And that's why, in times past, they always had, crack wasn't sold in the so-called white neighborhoods.
Right. It was below.
That's where your clientele was coming from.
Right.
All right. They were coming from those rich neighborhoods and going down to the slums to go get they fix.
Mm-hmm.
They were just the consumer, but they flooded the streets with D-boys and everything.
And
they were wrapping them up.
Yeah. Popularize it and made it a culture.
Yeah.
Right? But that's another lesson.
I'm going to drop down Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. And Esau means wasted away. He came out red with no pigment on him. Mm-hmm. All right? Identifying this red devil. Now, his beast system, all right, is known as the red dragon in the book of Revelation. All right? Esau, Rome, red.
Right.
He's known as that's another scripture we could get is the book of Psalms in chapter 5. But can you grab Nahum? Or actually, you got 2 Thessalonians?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just grab the wicked shall be revealed.
Come. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8, and it reads, "And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming."
Right. So the wicked, Esau, Edom is going to be revealed in these times. All right. And that's an end time prophecy, and we're seeing, all this devil's, tactics, treacherous works. All right. It's all coming out that he's the devil of the Bible. He's the adversary of the nation of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
He's the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Okay? And the Lord's going to consume him with the spirit of his mouth. The prophets, all right? Yahweh Shai.
Yep. As he continues, as the brother said, as he continues to reveal this devil is starting to get backed into a corner, right? And starting to panic. I mean, essentially, that's what he's doing. Everything he's doing, like Trump went and hit Iran, that was a panic attack. All right.
He had to because Israel was going to do it anyways.
Right. So, but essentially, it's like a panic attack. The so-called leader of the free world was never backed into a corner to do anything, right? Because here it is, America in the presidency is supposed to be the dominating world power. They were the ones to stand Israel off all this time, but now in this day and time, what has happened? All right, what is that? Benjamin Netanyahu. He said, and God bless the United States of Israel. All right. So, he's letting you know, it's sold to the highest bidder. All right. It's in their pocket. Why? Through all the unlawful decrees that they have set up, through all the chess pieces that they have in place. Okay. It's no different, man. It's no different. This devil, has continuously throughout time made sure that he has the upper hand in his queendom, as very well as he should. Because this is an age that belongs to him, but it is coming to an end. All right, through the will and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Salakia. I got one right quick. This is going to be here in the book of Psalms, chapter 94, and verse 20, and it reads, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?" All right. So Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai said, what is there? Is this supposed to be? Is the throne of iniquity supposed to have fellowship with the righteous? No. And this is exactly, really what is happening. All right? This devil has had his law, has had mischief as devised as law, all right, through his justice, his judiciary system, and given license for Israel to act how they want to act, all right, and give them a pass and said it's okay, all right. Don't worry about your God. I am God. All right. He sets himself up as God.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna grab. This is the Book of Psalms. Can't spell. This is the Book of Psalms, chapter 5, and verse 6. It says, "Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing." You know, those are telling lies.
Mm-hmm.
It says, Yahweh will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. All right, and this man, Esau Edom has a lot of blood on his hands. All right, he got blood of the saints. He got blood from everybody in this world. It says that in the book of Ezekiel, that since he pursued blood is going to pursue him.
John. Yep.
And Yahweh Shemi Shai is going to make sure of it.
No escaping, right? Because Yahweh Shemi Shai requires that which was passed.
Yeah.
All right. This devil has believed that he can get away with all his injustice, that it'll be okay. Right. He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna figure the way, right? And that the Lord is gonna forget his tab, because he believes he's really essentially accomplished his task of measuring the depths of the ocean and measuring the heavens. He thinks he's almost there.
Yeah. Hey, well, he has the pride where he could feel like, in times past, he could, pull up on Jake and burn a X on the doorstep.
Yeah.
And hang them in the street.
Yeah.
Or off the tree.
And nobody say nothing.
Just like today, he still got the pride that he could run Jake off the road and get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a so-called black man or whatever. Because he knows that this world is for him. Okay, mm-hmm. He has protection from this government. Can you get Nahum 1?
Yeah.
I believe verse 3.
Come on. I got her on right there. This is Book of Nahum. Sorry, my phone's moving slow. This is Book of Nahum, chapter 1 and verse 3, and it reads, Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Yahweh hath Yahweh hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the cloud are the dust of the feet of his feet.
Right. So Yahweh Shemi Shai, although he be slow to anger, all right, he's working. Mm-hmm. All right. It's not going to be on your time, but it said he will not acquit the wicked. I mean, their destruction is, nigh. Every day is closer to our salvation, but it's closer to this devil's downfall. Mm-hmm. That's what they're scared about, right? Because they know the prophecies of the Bible just like the elect. Okay, they have diviners and seers on the left hand side. Okay, but the Lord's gonna take vengeance on these people for the acts that they've done. Okay, to not acquit, just like OJ was acquitted.
I was just thinking.
By the glove not fitting. Well, hey, this is a one size fit all for Esau Edom. All right, he's not gonna acquit the from the little baby, all right, all the way up to the old lady. They all gonna get judged, all right, as every man does. But Esau's gonna feel the wrath of or reap the consequences of his actions.
I gotta pray. This would be the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 13, and it reads, "Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire.
Yep.
And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is." And that doesn't exclude Esau, Edom. Yeah. All right? It doesn't exclude anyone, but this is not just for 2/3 of the nation of Israel. All right? This is for Esau, Edom as well, because, hey, Esau, Edom will be back. Yeah. All right? Through reincarnation. All right? And as he comes back, he's going to understand and start remembering some of the things that he has did. All right? And even if he doesn't exactly remember, we're going to make sure through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Shai that he has just enough. All right?
He was pretty much Esau's lot is to get this judgment. God. He was used as a sword, but, as it said, his wrath continued.
God.
So he's going to bring that back to him. And this is Ecclesiastes, the Lord is going to bring, an ass whooping like he never felt before. Ecclesiastes 9 and 12, it says, "For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men, snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them." Now, Esau is that top heathen, all right? So he, also he's the wicked, but he also fall into that category of the sons of men as well.
God.
Because he's a heathen nation. Okay, but the Lord's gonna, suddenly and quickly bring, judgment upon him. He gonna entrap himself. The deceiver and the deceiver are his. There's he's gonna be caught in a trap that he can't get out of, though.
Right.
And as he thinks it's gonna really catch him by surprise, because he thinks he got everything figured out. He's at this time he's wiser than Daniel, but his wisdom is failing. All right. So as his wisdom fails, all right, he still has that pride to think that I got this handled. But the Lord is going to show him different. You got something?
Yeah. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33, and it reads, "So ye shall not pollute the land which in ye are, for blood is defiled." It's like for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
All right, and he shed blood over here, and he also shed blood over in our motherland, Jerusalem, and Israel, where you have those people claiming to be us. All right, but they not us. All right, so that land got to get decimated, as well, but not as bad as this land. America, Babylon the Great, will be completely destroyed, whereas Israel, is getting, destroyed right now.
Right. Israel's gonna get back to what they call it. The Flintstones call it the bedrock.
Hey, they getting hit right now. Well, there's I don't know if that actually took place. the little cease
Oh yeah.
fire.
Well, one took
Did it
place,
go in
and
effect?
one took place, and it only lasted for an hour,
But I thought it restarted.
and then they just restarted it. And I haven't looked just yet, but nevertheless, prophecy already dictates what's happening.
Right.
So there's nothing that this devil can do against prophecy, only for prophecy.
Yeah.
All right, nothing you can do against the truth, but for the truth, as the scriptures say. All right.
This is Isaiah 34 and verse 5. It says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment." Right? The Lord is going to bring his sword, all right, upon upon the people of his curse. All right, and that's talking about the curse that Cain was marked with.
Right.
All right, that curse of leprosy, as Esau has no pigmentations in this time. All right, he was spiritually Cain, and he was spiritually the serpent. That's why they ride by that sign,
Right. Hey, that's all their signs.
And that's just an upgraded sign from
medical side
from
Janus and Jasper.
The hood. that the Lord has a way of tying all these things in. They picked it probably because they thought it was cool. Yeah, snake. Looking badass, but it's really tying him back to being that serpent that he always was.
Got it.
I got one more. Close out. This is 1 Peter. It's gonna be 1 Peter 5 and verse in verse 8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." All right, we went into that hunger that he has. He got a hunger for wickedness. He got a hunger, an insatiable hunger, to do evil,
Right.
and really to bring evil upon Israel.
Hey, that's why Esau is the star of your twilight. He's got that bloodthirst.
Yeah, so in these times, hey, brothers and sisters, you gotta stay prayed up and stay on your toes, because Esau trying, and it's just gonna escalate into even more critical situations.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get caught lacking. There's no lacking, pretty much from here on out. We know the times are evil. The people have since iniquity abound. All right. They wax cold. People, just heartless. All right. And Esau is a damn, demon or a spirit of vengeance sent by the Lord.
God.
To whip Jake's ass. Now, the elect is, covered through the mercy and blood of Yahushua, but hey, you still gotta, know what times we in. But that was pretty much it.
I'll just pull this one. I think you read it, but I'll pull it again. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Yeah, I just read
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's just stand out again. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about seeking whom he may devour. Right? And it's just so powerful that I had to read it again, even though I just heard it. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Awashai. Know that this devil, once again, he is lurking and waiting. He wants every chance. At every chance, this devil has his law. All right, he has lawful agents and unlawful agents deputized. Unlawful agents sort of deputized and not being deputies, so that they could still be found blameless.
Like a private contractor.
That's the word I was thinking.
Economic hitman.
Right.
People off the record. Mission Impossible.
It is Mission Impossible. It's impossible for you to get your birthright back.
but Tom Cruise is down there always trying to stop some type of explosive from going off.
God.
Some shit from getting even more messed up than it already is.
Right. Hey, and
Ethan Hunt.
We know that this devil is already lost. All right, but it has to manifest itself physically through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yeah, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it.
God.
He can't win. It says, let me, read, maybe go here. Revelation, it's going to be Revelation 12 and I believe the 11th verse. And I'll start at 10. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power, Yahweh, of our God Yahweh, and the power of his Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power Yahweh day and night. All right. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
God.
So, we have the win already.
Yep.
We overcame, how did we overcome and enter into this salvation was through the word and the testimony of Yahweh Shai. All right, prophecy, knowing prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and having the faith, man.
Yep.
So you got to be, and then just read 12 for the hell of it. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So even this devil knows his time is coming to an end, and this is just him taking the acts trying to prevent it from happening.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking preventative measures, even though they're not gonna work.
Nothing.
But you're gonna feel the his pressure,
right?
Because he has the power right now. The Lord is allowing him to build himself up for destruction.
All right. Hey, he has the keys to his queendom. All right. No matter what he's told you, no matter what he shows you, this devil ain't never letting go until Yahweh Shem Yahushai takes him out the power seat.
All right.
All right. So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back. All right. You have to be prepared. All right. You have to be circumspect through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I got two more scripts. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 25, and it reads, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so you have to be circumspect and be willing to stand up for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Stand up for your faith. Stand up for what you believe in. All right? Not be a pushover. All right? But know that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has you. You can't believe in this devil system. You can't believe in any weaponry that you may have, may not have, may come across, any food or anything like that. You have to believe in the testimony of Yahweh Shem Yahushai first and foremost. Know that everything else is nothing but a tool for salvation. Mm-hmm. Even food, even water is just a tool to sustain you, to make it to the chariot through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai to receive that salvation.
Yeah, there's this saying that everything you eat, you're either feeding or fighting a disease.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? The book of Sirach, the 38th chapter, where the physician come to cut off that disease. Esau is a plague unto this whole world.
God.
All right, through everything he puts into it. You know, from his from nanobots to
Microplastics.
Right. To the concrete, you know, to the chemtrails.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, he's the disease. Right? It even says in Isaiah the 63rd chapter, you know, who is this that cometh with dyed garments from Basra?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that physician is gonna, you know, come back and cut this bitch off. You know, he's gonna take out, you know, this infrastructure from the ground up,
right,
or from the top down.
Go. And verse 26, Matthew 16:26, and it reads, "For what is a man profit if he shall give the whole world, Slaki, if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Mm-hmm.
For what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?"
Right.
Right? And Esau got lentos.
Yeah.
That's what he gave for his soul. All right.
Some pottage of red meat.
Right.
You know, not even cooked all the way.
He said that was sufficient enough for his soul. All right. So you can't be on that same mind frame as Esau Edom, or else you'll have to suffer the fate. All right. In a way, as Esau Edom, you will have to be punished with him. Okay. If you're an Israelite, you still get the kingdom through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because he's just. All right. But nevertheless, you will have to suffer if you partake of this man's queendom in full.
Yeah,
if you get the MOTB.
Yeah. And that's the thing. He gonna try to make it look like this is the only way.
Right.
You know.
He's trying to give you that ultra carbon. You know.
We push you in this corner, and now, all right, we're gonna save you out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So that's the ultimatum. So what shall you profit if you lose his own soul? You don't give your soul for a piece of food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a bowl of uncooked meat. And these times it's gonna be a shit burger.
Right.
You know, and these times it's gonna be a
roach milk.
Yeah. You know, all these, you know,
celebrity meat.
Yeah, celebrity meat. What's that? That human meat.
Yeah.
All right. Because cannibalism's gonna come back.
Right.
They got those trends. Damn, I'm so hungry I could eat a dog. Or I eat shit. The other day, my auntie in the hospital, my cousin sent a text to my mom saying, "I'm so hungry." You know, my cousin, a elephant. She said my auntie looking like a chimichanga. And I was like, God damn. In that day, you know,
that's
if you don't repent, you don't be saying that about anybody around your big ass.
Right.
You know?
But you're going to be the prey.
Yeah, because you're going to feed a goddamn small village of people. But
that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's it.
But with that, hey, we want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching, preaching this truth, 144% sincerity. To the next time, this man of valor says, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Abba, Shalom.